Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, taking flights from Frankfurt to Rome in the Airbus A320neo, and taking flights in Lufthansa colours. So, flying today is Lufthansa 232, and it should be a good one. We are also introducing IVAO to the mix now, so we are going to be using IVAO for our air traffic control, and, well, let's see how things go today. Like I say, it should be a good flight. We're in the initial stage of preparing everything. Hopefully this time, things are running a little bit smoother as well. And so, yeah, basically we only got as far as Pushback last time. So we're going to start again, and this time run things from the get-go. Fuel trucks just surrounding the airplane now. So in a moment, we'll start fueling up the aircrafts. We'll jump to the cockpit, and let's get everything ready to go. So first things first, batteries come on. Silence the master warning, and turn on the navigation lights, turn on the external power, and the fuel pumps will come on in just a moment. So, like I say, we're just waiting for the fuel truck to pop up now. Right there, position yourself behind the aircrafts. And if I check the fuel planning, we do require £15,636 of fuel on board. We would measure in kilos, but Microsoft Flight Sim doesn't yet allow for it, and so we are doing things in the American style. This is not a Microsoft livery, no. This is from a guy named, if I grab his name 2 seconds, a guy named Clink123, and so it's a freeway livery, and at some point tomorrow I will do a tutorial on how to download liveries. Do be aware, there is a website right now, fs-2020.org, that has got the liveries on there, but well, the liveries themselves are not with permission, and actually there's been a few issues regarding piracy over actually the fs-2020.org having that link and distributing themselves alongside donations. So avoid downloading from fs2020.org if you want it. This here, give it 2 seconds. Yeah, this here is the official listing for the liveries. So if you want freeway liveries in Microsoft Flight Simulator, check out that link. Right, fuel on board, £15,636. That's a bit too short. So actually that's perfect, but we'll add one more just as an extra... gallons. Come on, Drawyah, make sure we're doing it in right. So 16, 15.95, that will do. Fuel's on board, let's jump into the cockpit, and let's start planning our routes. Head over to initialization, departure from Echo, Delta, Delta, Foxtrot to Lima, India, Romeo, Foxtrot. Plug that in. There's no company route, so we'll jump back out. Flight number is Delta Lima Hotel 232, Lufthansa 232. And our cost next today is 5, using the sim brief for our flight planning, and so should work out for us nicely. Zero fuel weight is 50.2, and the centre of gravity is 21.3. Our block fuel on board is going to be 72.3, so 7.3, and that will do for that. Jump over to the flight plan, and let's start plugging our waypoints, starting off with Aneki. From Aneki, we fly to Suneg, following Tedgo, after Tedgo, we fly to Utaba. After that, it's Idrek. We'll insert stats, jump to the flight plan, jump to the bottom one. After Idrek, we fly to Kreva. After that, we fly to Biktu. And then that forms our final waypoint onto the flights. Insert that, quickly switch over to plan mode, make sure everything goes to work step by step. Which in this case it does. Go back to normal mode, and let's get the weather information. So QNH is 1012, Currently winds are at 7 knots, 200, cav okay. Okay, it's not too bad at the moment. I mean, we can see we have got a few clouds on the outside, but they're not too low for us. We should be able to get a decent height in before requiring any actual flying through them. Right, let's contact ATC and let's get our clearance now to Rome. So, current control tower right now is offline apparently. Right, 120805, that's still there. Okay, so approach is still online. So hopefully we'll be able to contact them over clearance to departure. Because what was it? 119.905 was the frequency used earlier. Yeah, that's offline. So contact approach. And let's see if we can get our clearance now from here. Oh, they've just gone offline as well. That's great. Thank you very much for the donation there, Flying JR. Much appreciated. Promo question mark. Okay. So, ATC has disconnected, and therefore, unfortunately, we have gone with that. So, set our departure up. We're departing from runway 25 centre via the ANEC 5 Foxtrot departure. Insert stats. Go back to performance. And set up a departure. So flaps 1 stroke 0 on the THS. Using flex temp 66. Transition altitude at 5,000. Right, all looks good. Turn on the flight director. We'll set the altitude to 37,000 feet. Make sure the fuel pump's now active since the fuel truck has been to the aircraft. And let us start up the APU in anticipation for push and starts. Flaps not yet, we are still at gates, but as we start our pushback, we will then go through our flaps. Slowly, aircraft power up systems. How's flights? Flight's time is 1 hour and 50 minutes to stay. 1 hour 50. Don't have too many problems with the FPS at the moment. I mean, we did have that one slight laggy start, but it is running smooth now. Things are running much smoother than they were a couple of minutes ago. Yes, this is the Premium Deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are running the Premium Deluxe today. APU's running, we'll turn on the APU bleeds, we'll disconnect from the ground power, and let us get the aircraft ready for push and starts. Yeah, so the skin today is created by Clink123, skins by Clink123, and so at some point tomorrow I'll go through a tutorial on how to download the livery packs, because like I say, the fs2020.org website has used them without permission, and so there's been a little bit of a row over whether or not they should have actually done that, as well as asking for donations. Sorry, Clink assembled them, sorry, and he's got the... There's a whole argument going on at the moment. It's a bit of a mess with the actual liveries and who actually did what, who did what. I'm even getting confused myself, so... yeah, it's been a... bit of an interesting start for the liveries of Microsoft Flight Sim. But hey, yes, there's a trailer yellow that's missing from the rear of the airplane. But I'm sure these liveries, as they grow, will start to get a little bit nicer. Right, let's us get ready to call the pushback tug. And let's now head over to the runway. So, Shift P, bring the pushback tug over. There's a whole confusion over what clink's done. What's the org's done. It's a bit of a row at the moment, so I'm going to let the waters calm a bit, and I'll figure out what's gone on there before making sure on that. There is a 320 EasyJet livery, yes. Right, parking brakes released. Ignition sets to start. Engine, whoops, not two, sorry. Engine 1 starts. Thank you for the tenner. Thank you for the tenner. Tredicate, sorry. Looking for the flight. Love stream to keep them up. Much appreciated, man. Glad you're enjoying them. So, push the aircraft back. We shall ask them to steer now to the right. We are using IVAO, but the problem is that... Whoops, whoa! Playing it fine there, little transit van. Playing it fine. We are on IVAO, but tower is disconnected, so they are currently offline. As we fly south, hopefully someone in Italy will come online. But right now, Brussels is online. But Frankfurt has disconnected. Start up with the engine number 2. This is the supposedly the official link to download these skins. We are flying with ATC today, but ATC is currently offline, so don't have any of that to speak to today. P2 sounding, barking dogs. Flaps down 1. Make sure that the strobes and beacons are active. If both engines are active, we'll turn off the APU. In just a moment, we'll turn on taxi lights and make our way over to runway 25 centre. FPS is a little bit low, but it does... it takes a bit out in the simulator. Some airports, some aircraft certainly laggy than others. And Frankfurt right now, being one of the premium deluxe airports, this does have a bit of a high quality to it, but I will go back, I will mess around the settings, and it's just kind of find that optimum area to run things smoothly. Thank you for the 2 Canadian there, Nick, much appreciated. Let's turn on the taxi lights, and let's make our way over to the runway. Parking brakes off, increase throttle, and let's get going. Yeah, the sim has a bit of a frame rate range for a lot of people, but as soon as we're airborne, things should start running a little bit smoother for us. Right now it's just the airport here at Frankfurt being a little bit stuttery. Do I actually use you as a job? Probably not. Probably not. Too much work. Too much to do in such a short period of time. As a hobby, I enjoy it. So hopefully at some point soon, I'll be putting the money in for a new PC. We'll see how the future goes for that. Ooh, the frame rate is certainly a bit slow here. Once we're on the runway, things will start to clear up a bit. Once we're airborne, we should be running at a solid 30 again. Welcome there, SN Cuts, how you doing? Thank you for the $4.99 Jack, much appreciated. Thank you for the 99 pence, Antoine, much appreciated, 99 cents. Come on frame rate, you can do it. Just a little bit longer and we'll be airborne. Welcome Elite, how you doing? Welcome Matty, welcome... Yeah, Eiger Fire. Let me try something 2 seconds. Yeah, that's made no impact on the FPS, so IVAO is running smooth at the moment. It is just the sim being a little bit heavy at the moment. Well, there's 25 cents up, so we'll be airborne in a minute anyway. Welcome Squidline, how you doing? Can we drive faster? Yes we can. Welcome, Vinod, how you doing? Yes, we do have the dog barking sounds. The PTU has sounded. Thank you for the 20 Tredicates. Just the one flight today. One flight today, 2 flights tomorrow, 2 flights on Sunday. As tonight I'd also do a few more tutorials. Hint, hint, wink, wink. As that's what we're going to do for the weekend. So, just the one tonight. Then do a few weekend tutorials. Yeah, let's make our scale a bit smaller. It's going to look a bit ugly for a moment. But if we go to render scaling, let's bring that back to 80%. It improves frames, but well, essentially what it does is it cuts half the pixels away from the screen. So the runway looks a bit ugly. And a few other textures here and there also start to look a bit off. But as we take off, as we get into the air and away from Frankfurt, run a bit smoother. Perhaps Frankfurt was just a bad idea to start on. Alright, throttle back. We're using live weather, but not live time right now. Quick file check, make sure there's no ATC online. Currently all offline, which is fine. Visual check of the runway. Nobody's coming in from the left. Nobody's on the runway or coming in from the right. Landing lights on. Text lights on. Make sure that these spoilers are currently armed. Flaps down 1. Brake sets to max in the case of rejected takeoff. And let's get going, shall we? Yes, IVAO does work, and it's rather good, including actually adding the AI liveries with custom airplane models. I do hope in this stream we get a chance to actually see it a bit more properly, like we did in the first attempt, but well, the frame rate in the first attempt was certainly not too great, and therefore decided to restart it just for the sake of trying to get things a bit smoother. Yeah, the frame rate. Some of these premium airports are definitely a bit heavier than others. I think the worst airport for frame rates is probably this or Heathrow. In fact, we're running worse here than Heathrow, so the problem with Frankfurt is that it's just such a big airport, and therefore so much to render, so much to load. Throttle up 50%, 1 and 2 are stable, up to flex. Flight time 1 hour and 50 minutes. V1 rotates. Positive rates, gear up. Throttle back to climb. Flaps up. In a moment, we'll make a left-hand turn to fly the initial heading. Yeah, the stutter's a little bit high at the moment, but the further we get from Frankfurt, the better things start to run. Destination today, landing at Rome today. Landing at Rome. If I turn the rendering back up to 100 again, at least it should look better, but it's actually not quite run as well. Yeah, note to self, Drawyah, don't stream from Frankfurt until you've got a better PC. Right, set our climb now to autopilot active. Altitude climb 2,000 feet per minute, or 3,500. Speed and heading managed. So at this point we can sit back, relax, and the aircraft do all the work. Yeah, sorry. Paris is another one that's very heavy to load. But with Frankfurt, like I say, it's such a massive airport, this. And so there's a lot to load. A lot going on here. Ooh, not liking this. Not liking this one bit. Hopefully at some point we'll see some optimization come from this simulator, because it definitely needs it. My spec right now is an NVIDIA GTX 1660 with 16 gigs of RAM and an i7 6700 processor. But I do look to upgrade at some point soon. And, well, this departure here proves that I need to upgrade soon. Not today. I mean, you've already done England-Scotland flights. My very first Microsoft flights in video was flights from Luton to Inverness. Yep, already at 250 knots and currently holding until we reach our cruising altitude. Or at least these will pass 10,000 and then things will start to speed up a little bit. Standard altimeter. You have a worse PC, but can rank Frankfurt fine. Really? Oh, something must be on there, because so far my stream's not been doing too bad for frame rates. But today, it just seems to be running really, really horribly. There we go, running smooth now. The lagging seems to have now finished. There we go, back to 30, we're smooth again. Yeah, back to 30. Very, very strange that. Thank you, Lucas, for the $2. Fly from Texas at some point, fly to Austin. We could do it at some point, definitely. I'm not too sure. The frame rate's back now, so running smooth. Suddenly, running smooth again. Just a very, very interesting way of the simulator trying to do stuff. I'll look into it. I'll definitely look into it. So we'll climb out of Frankfurt now. Climb to 37,000 feet. And then we shall continue. Screens in the cockpit, sure thing. So in front of us we've got a primary flight display, a PFD, which shows your artificial horizon, your airspeed and your altitude. In the middle you've got an ND, a navigation display, and that shows you your well, your navigation, so your direction of travel, your heading, and also different distances. I can zoom out on the ND and showcase more of the flight ahead of us. In the middle you've got your engine displays, and so you should have an ECAM there as well. It shows like your checklist on screen, but MSFS doesn't have it yet. But with your engine displays, this one at the top shows your throttle, your N1 and engine power. You've got your fuel on board, and then down below you've got your engine settings. So your oil in the middle and your engine PSI in the bottom. Engine temperature below, both currently running at 81 centigrade. And then the same for the co-pilot side. You've got navigation, you've got a primary flight display. Top here you've got your autopilots. Down here you've got your flight management system, your MCDU, and this is where you control your well, your aircraft systems, navigation, engines, all that sort of stuff. Passing now through the clouds. How do you determine transition altitude? Transition altitude depends on country. In America, it's 18,000 feet. In the UK, it's 6,000 feet. And so, depending on what country you fly to, it changes depending on where you are. How long does it take to learn the flight program computer? You could learn it in an hour. If you took enough time to learn it, basically, you could do it. Would you let the co-pilot lands? Probably not. I prefer landing this myself. This is from the Microsoft Store. This is downloaded from the Microsoft Store. Oh boy, here we go, the icing again. Yes, we are flying in the Lufthansa colours today. A very frozen A320neo. Must remember, anti-icing before the clouds. Do not use VSync in game. VSync is an FPS killer. Thank you, Held Time, for subscribing. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Don't choose VSync. If you're going to limit your FPS, use an external limiter like NVIDIA Control Panel. VSync is just an FPS pig and will slow things down like crazy. Icing does affect flight physics, it does affect your stability, so we should be alright. The A320 is a rather good aircraft and does fly stable with icing, but yes, got to be very careful with that. Flight stick, I'm using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. The lock button, that is the localizer, so when we're approaching the airports, we'll use the localizer to get a fix on the direction of the runway. Once we've got a fix, and we wait for the two magenta diamonds to centre, we then switch over to approach mode, and that then flies down the glide slope. IVAO. So IVAO is an online network that lets you communicate and contact other pilots in the flight sim world, and yeah, it acts like a virtual air traffic control tower. And so all other airplanes are real pilots. Control tower, also real people, and so it's just a nice way of actually filling the world with realistic AI traffic. Now, I want to have a quick look at something. If I open up IVAO again. Let's try connecting. Actually, not yet, because my frame rate's been very jumpy today. Let me then close the core. Right, I now know why my sim is lagging so much. It's similar to that sim, yes. Very similar to that sim. Although I have now discovered why my sim was lagging earlier. It's the IVAO core that seems to cause the frame rate drop there. So at some point I will mess around with it, try things running a bit smoother. Yes, we are flying with clouds at the moment. This is live weather, and so unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to spot too much of the Alps unless things start to empty up over it. Welcome, Crizzy, how you doing? There are 7.4 and 7.8 liveries out there. They are all available. As you make Lufthansa, at some point tomorrow, I will be doing a tutorial on how to download liveries. So, do stay tuned, a tutorial is coming. I use OBS to live stream. OBS. I did spot Held Time subscribing there, and I have given him his thanks. Much appreciated, man. Anti-icing is turned on. Wings, engines, and probe heats. But you do need to bear in mind that in these aircraft, the anti-icing is only on the leading edges. So leading edge of the wing, leading edge of the tail, and leading edge of the engines, as to where the actual anti-icing cuts back. And so, well, until we start descending, we have got a popsicle 325 today. A nice frozen Neo. Yes, shared cockpit is coming. Shared cockpit is currently on the way. My PC spec is an NVIDIA GTX 1660 graphics card on an Intel i7 processor 6700 on 16GB of DDR4 RAM at 2.3 GHz. It took me 5 hours to download, 5 hours, although I downloaded this on Friday, and so I managed to avoid all of the rush on Tuesday and release. That again allowed me to preview the game a few days early, and therefore I was one of the lucky few to show it early. At some point I will do a playlist on how to fly. I've done takeoff. During the weekend I plan to do landing. We are downloading with Wi-Fi. No cable, I'm afraid. I'm a bit too far away from the router to be able to do that. We are currently over Wi-Fi. ETA 1 hour and 40 minutes. 4 days to download, ouch. No, the liveries didn't make the FPS drop, it was IVAO that made the FPS drop, so I'm going to go back to IVAO, try and figure out what went wrong with that. But, yes, by this weekend we should be alright. I've already answered that question harsh, but unfortunately as you're spamming now, I'm going to have to mute you. Tomorrow I'll do a tutorial on how to download liveries. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Destination, we're flying to Rome Fumancino today. Flying to Rome Fumancino. Right, welcome to cruising altitude. Welcome to 37,000 feet. And there go, if you to the right hand side, you've got the frozen engine. I'm sure as a passenger you'd be looking at that with awe, to say the least. Tomorrow there'll be a tutorial on how to download liveries. Stay tuned. Tomorrow morning it will be there. Why find so high? 37,000 feet. It's a pretty standard cruise for this. There are A380s in the game. They're just AI traffic. You can't fly them, but A380s are right now just traffic. Ice heater is turned on. Ice heater, all of them are running. Is it hard down liveries? Not at all. Not at all. All you have to do is drop into one folder, and it all works. Why can't I fly the A380? Because it's a very complex aeroplane, it takes a lot of time to develop. Why perhaps better wait for a specialist team to do one. Hang on the high settings. Now, Popsicle A320neo. Yeah, it's a very, very frozen aeroplane this. Where am I from? I'm from the UK. Thank you for the tenner, Tredicate again. Favourite airport to land at? Ooh, that's a good one. The approach into Oslo, I do like. Oslo Gardermoen is really good. The approach into Lufthansa when coming in from the east is rather good. Yeah, I'm going to have to say Lufthansa or Oslo Gardermoen. You are spamming Oman, please be careful or you will be muted. We can talk to ATC, but I have turned it off since that was my lagging issue earlier, so I've turned it off now, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to run it again. Yes, Lappeenranta. I've spent a month in Finland. I've spent a month in Lappeenranta. It's a very, very beautiful city. Lappeenranta, nearby Taipalsaari. And was it Kuovola that's nearby as well? Imatra, sorry, it's Imatra that's nearby. Went there on Christmas Day, actually. No, I'm not a pilot in real life, just a simmer pilot. How many viewers do I get normally? So before Microsoft Flight Simulator, I was averaging around 20 viewers. So to right now have around 500 viewers is certainly a nice change. So I do thank you all very much for tuning in. SIDs and stars. So a SID is a standard instrument departure and is a standardised route out of an airport onto towards your first waypoints to avoid air traffic. A star, a standard approach routing, is a route that takes you in from your final waypoint to the runway while again avoiding traffic. So it's a standardised route that's managed by ATC to allow for spacing as well as to allow for aircraft to be separated in the air. I am more of a Boeing person myself. I do prefer my Boeings over Airbus, but hey, it is what it is. I like the 320neo. At least it's a relatively automatic aircraft. And so you press 3 buttons and it does the whole journey before. Drawyah acts like he hasn't pulled 1 to 1.8k views before. I mean, that was just at a high when the sim was releasing. I did expect a small drop when the sim released, but the last time I hit 1,000 viewers was back when Dovetail Games Flight Sim World released. My day one stream for that was quite a popular one. Then things started slowing down as time went on, although hopefully now with Microsoft Flight Sim in the mix, things will start to be a little more high for me, a little more in the skies. So today we're doing just the 1 flight. Tomorrow we'll do 2, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and then 1 in the Sunday, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. I then plan to do a stream on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Probably take a break on Thursday. Back on Friday, Saturday again 2, Sunday 2, and then, not next week but the following week, I'll probably go back to my normal schedule, my pre-Microsoft schedule, which was a stream on Wednesday, a stream on Saturday, and a stream on, 1 stream Wednesday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. So we'll go back to our original stream in about 2 weeks' time. But for now, enjoy the daily stuff. It's a new platform, a lot of people are excited for it. We'll continue to do a Train Sim World on the side as well, on those as premieres. But yeah, it should be rather good this. I will be doing a landing tutorial, don't you worry guys. Tomorrow I do plan to have a couple of them out. Is your description wrong? If it is, I will check it. Thank you very much, Roshan, for letting me know. The computer is an i7-6700 processor with 16GB of RAM and a GTX 1660 graphics card. Do I do YouTube full time? No, I do not. I do YouTube after work every day. So, long days, long nights, but certainly worth it. If there's one feature they'd add, what would it be? VNav. Once you complete your MCDE flight plan, does it automatically load navigation? So if you use the built-in flight sim flight planner, then the flight plan will automatically be created. If you don't use the built-in flight planner, then you plug it in all manually. There's no controls yet, but so perhaps the reason for that is because they're currently working on a brand new effects engine, and so coming soon they'll introduce a new effects engine which will add contrails, tyre smoke, engine smoke, ground chimney stacks, all the good stuff. But for now, enjoy my super frozen A320neo. Remember guys, turn on your anti-ice, otherwise your aircraft will be a little cold for the flights. How did it take me to learn flight sim? I mean, it's one of those things that the more I fly, the better I get, and eventually I just get used to all the systems. So it's practice, 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 trial and error, and eventually we'll get to work. Altitude holds does work, it's VNav that doesn't work in this sim. You've heard the sim isn't too good, is that true? I mean, I've enjoyed it. A lot of people enjoy it. And so, yeah. Premium does not have liveries. Liveries are a free download. If you want to know where to download it for liveries, you can get it here. Tomorrow, I've got a tutorial on the way on how to download these. Tomorrow I'll do the liveries tutorial. I'll do the A320, 787 and 747 approach tutorials. I am using a anti-icing, that's all currently turned on. Use your YouTube money to flight stick cam. Okay, if you guys want to look at flight stick so much, there you go. Yeah, so all your donations and all the monetization coming out of the Microsoft Flight Sim stuff recently will go towards upgrading my system. So as soon as the NVIDIA 30 series cards are out, we'll see the pricing of that, and then we'll decide, do we upgrade for a 30 series or do we get a 20 series, as they'll start to get a bit cheaper. So we'll wait for the NVIDIA announcements, and then we'll decide on what our PC will go to. But at some point soon, we will be upgrading, yes. And so no more will I be having stuttery, laggy flight sim. We'll be running crystal clear, nice and smooth. Yes, I will definitely be buying PMDG when they come out next year. You guys saying de-ice, like I don't know what I'm talking about, what I'm doing. Anti-icing is turned on. Don't you worry. They are turned on. You can spam all you want in the chat. but they are turned on right now. Facecam, not doing flight sims because the facecam for some reason is very CPU heavy. And, well, Microsoft Flight Sim's also relatively CPU heavy. Why is there ice on the wings? Because the A320 anti-ice doesn't cover the entire wing. The anti-icing only covers the leading edge. You've got the end of the wings that anti-ice, front of the engines, and front of the tail. The rest of it, you don't need anti-icing for. It very minimally affects your flight characteristics. Which settings am I using? Well, actually, I'm going to turn a few of them up again because now we know that this wasn't the problem. But we're on ultra terrain, high on the buildings. These can go back up again as well. And so, for the most part, running on high, running on ultra, things looking rather good. We save that, jump back into the sim. I will do some more videos on 787 eventually, but at the moment it's a bit laggy, the 787, a bit too stuttery, so we'll see. X-Plane 12 or FS 2020. Definitely Microsoft Flight Sim, because X-Plane 12 does not exist. I'd say Microsoft Flight Sim is worth it. It's definitely a nice little platform there. Running the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. Better than P3D? Yes. Definitely better than P3D. Yes, it's worth it. How do you ice without being invisible moisture? Clouds. Clouds have moisture, we flew through clouds. And so, as we fly through the clouds, the water condenses onto the aircraft and then freezes as we continue to climb. Liveries, I'll do a tutorial on tomorrow on how to add liveries to your A320, as well as your 74 and 787. When I fly over the mountains, we will be flying over the mountains. It's just cloudy, you can't see them. But we will be flying over the Alps today as we cross over from Germany to Italy. How long's the flight? 1 hour and 50 minutes. Insert and shift control 1. Tailcam. Squirrel's got on tutorial videos, but the problem with the Squirrel video is that the website he's linked actually leads to potentially a piracy problem. So the official liveries pack was compiled, not made by, but compiled by a guy named, get the name up, Clink123. The Squirrel video takes them out of the fs2020.org website, which, well, there's no permission for it. And so, yeah, no permission was given for it. The website asking for donations, and as a result, it's been a bit iffy. So, yeah, Squirrel, I'm sure, had no bad intentions. I mean, he wanted to show you guys how to add liveries, and yeah, that's more than fair. The problem is the website he linked has led to a few problems already. So, we'll see how things go, but I will do a tutorial, and I will use the official link that you should be downloading this from. I mean, no hate to Squirrel at all. I love his work, his simulator's fantastic, his video's been amazing in terms of actually showing off what the simulator can do. But that one video there, the source of his liveries, shouldn't have been used. There is a multiplayer mode. It is possible to see other aircraft. Thank you again for the 10 quid. Sheesh, you're throwing money today. Again, just use chat. You don't have to do this all the time. Have flown IRL. If not, you think you... so I have flown IRL. I have flown a couple of general aviation aircrafts. I have also flown a glider before as well. And so I'd like to do it again soon. I'm also hoping to do an NPPR Type M in the future, so I'll do a proper license. But I have flown in real life. I have done a couple of flights in light aircrafts, but I'd like to do it again at some point soon. You never know. If someone offers a flight, I'll jump on that. What do you mean Squirrel trolled you? He hasn't trolled anyone, he just made one small error on what was a rather fantastic video. I mean, his explanation on how to install liveries is phenomenal. Like I say, it's just the source that needs to be changed. Yes, PewDiePie streams the 747 from London to Gothenburg. That was a mesmerising event. That was an interesting one, that's for sure. I mean, fair play to him, and fair play to Microsoft Flight Sim as well. It's grown massively since it first appeared, and well, it really has been phenomenal. Microsoft Flight Simulator has grown massively since day one. Right, here we go. This should be the direct link to the files. It's a media file link, and that in there is all your A320 colours. The 747 is a bit of a gas guzzler. I have noted that its fuel rates can be a little bit high at times, but hey, it is what it is. So the clouds are going to clear up in a moment, and just on the horizon, we're going to be able to see some of the Alps in front of us, so that's always a good sign. Right now, the weather over Italy is looking much clearer, so soon we'll be at the end of the cloud cover. No flights tonight. Tonight I'm going to spend a bit of time recording some more tutorials. Tomorrow we'll be doing a few more flights. Anti-icing is turned on. It's just not super effective. Alright, flying right now over. Should be flying over the Alps. You'll see just ahead of us a couple of mountain ranges fronts. Over Austria at this point. A stick or a yoke. It really depends on what do you prefer to fly. I mean, you prefer to fly Boeings and Cessnas over Airbuses and the SR-22. Well, Boeings and Cessnas use a yoke, the SR-22 and Airbus aircraft use a stick, so really depends on what you're looking for. How can you use that bad livery? I mean, that's anti-icing. That's not a bad livery, that's ice. That's just frozen on the aeroplane. So as we descend, that should start to thaw off a little bit. Liveries, I'll do a tutorial on tomorrow. I mean, if there is a JetBlue livery, then I'll show it, but if there is no JetBlue, then there's no JetBlue. Am I? No. 737 is on the way. PMDG will be making the 737 for Microsoft Flight Sim out early next year. Q1 2021 is the PMDG 737. Where are we landing? Rome Fumancino. Fly to Grimsby. Of all places, beautiful, grey, rainy Grimsby. Grimsby town. Love writing the 320 as a cabin crew. The more people spam about airports, the less I'm going to fly from them. So Liverpool, less chance of doing it now. You're sleepy. I mean, I've had a couple of really long nights. Go to Yemen. Could be worse. People could demand you to land at Coventry. To be fair, Coventry is a nicer area than Grimsby, truth be told. You recommend... I don't think there's a speed increase, but we'll see. I'm sure about Shift Z, Crizzy. Because, well, the Z key deactivates autopilot, but Shift Z doesn't seem to do anything. Joystick, I'm using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. Thank you for the 420. Max Hayes, much appreciated. Much appreciated. The file upload chart. What do you mean by that, Pax? Any problems with the ILS approach? I've got no problems with the ILS at the moment. Aircraft is doing a rather fine job at bringing the aircraft into my airports. Thank you for the plane guy, £10. Much appreciated, man. Thank you very, very much. And like I say, all donations are going towards a new PC fund. And so at some point in the very near future, as soon as NVIDIA announce the pricing for their new cards, I'll then go into buying either the new cards, or I'll buy a 20 series card, which will then go cheaper, and we'll see how things go from there. But yes, thank you all very much for donations recently. You guys are phenomenal. Alt Z. Nope, Alt Z's the GeForce experience. This is the link for the livery downloads. Tomorrow, I'll do a tutorial on how to download it. Welcome Hollis, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat, how are you doing? Are you guys having an argument about British Airways and EasyJet in the chats? I mean, both airlines are, I guess, equally as bad as one another. Although, to be fair, EasyJet haven't gone and just sacked all their cabin crew, while British Airways have had a bit of an iffy couple of weeks. Livery coming tomorrow. I'll do a tutorial on liveries coming tomorrow. The aircraft shake is a known bug, as Toyo are currently working to fix it, but it is a known bug. How long's flight? 1 hour and 50 minutes. Do agents have a hot meal on their flights? The European. That's interesting. I haven't flown... Actually, I've kind of flown Aegean. I've flown Olympic Airlines, who is the subsidiary of Aegean. I flew with Olympic from Athens to Limnos in Greece. Very beautiful island. Very nice flights. Today, flying to Rome Fumancino. Flying to Rome from Frankfurt. Cloud set to high. Cloud set to high. We should fly all around your way around the equator. That's going to be a very long flight, that major flamethrower. A very long flight. Explain slats and flaps. So, if you go over to the wing, the ice-covered wing, the flap is at the back of the aircraft, while the slats are at the front of the aircraft. And so, what they do is they change the shape of the airplane's wing. The different shape of the wing improves lift, increases drag, however, at different stages of flight. So right now in the air, a flat wing is the most optimum to keep lifts around the surface. At lower altitudes, we need to bend the airflow to a more downward position to support some more lift in the air. And so the flaps, they expand at the back of the aeroplane, so they angle downwards and extend for bigger surface area at a downward angle, so it forces the air over them and generates extra lifts. The slats do something at the front, where they extend slightly forward and turn. So the slats will turn down, show off more of its flat and rounded edge towards the wing, and then again just force the air below the wing, force the air above the wing, and generates more lifts. And so slats and flaps, what they do is they change shape of the wing to allow for optimum lift at different altitudes. I do plan to do more train sim at some point in the future. I do plan to do the daily scenario premieres. At some point soon, we'll go back and do another live stream on Train Sim World and do more of the routes again. But I have really been enjoying Train Sim World too. Different lines. They're a lot of fun to drive. I mean, I'm using 16 gigs of RAM right now, and it seems to be rather fine at the moment. Yeah, the 320, I'm afraid, doesn't have nearly enough range to go from London to Sydney. No, there's no Kaitak, no mixed field. Because the sim's based on satellite imagery, both those airports are now community parks, and therefore no longer exist in the simulator. Not particularly, Andres. The high altitude scenery is based on your VRAM, so if your VRAM's running out, then you've got no more memory to showcase the textures at high altitude. So that's just a VRAM limiter and not your settings. What was my last flight as a passenger before COVID-19? So my last flight as a passenger was on March the 14th or the 15th. And that was a flight from Inverness to London Gatwick. Before that, my last overseas flight would have been... Was it my flight from Rome to London City? Not Rome. Milan to London City. Let me check that 2 seconds. No, my last flight was from Oslo. Oslo to Stansted. That was on February the 9th. That was actually March 16th. So my last flight was from Inverness to Gatwick, March 16th. Before that, on the 14th of March, I went from Luton to Inverness. February 9th, I went from Oslo to Stansted. Before then, it was Vienna on the 27th of January. 13th of January, I did a flight from Catania to London City with a stopover in Milan. And then before that was a flight from Venice to Catania in the Boeing 717. Nope, I'm not the pilot. I do not fly airplanes for a career. Last time I flew an airplane myself was actually on March the 15th. Well, March 15th I flew a glider. Last time I flew a plane would have been last May. No, it's TG Kill Switch. You take care of yourself. Yeah, I did enjoy the glider video. It was definitely a lot of fun to edit, and I think the end result's probably one of my better videos. My favourite video, though, has to be the 717 one I did. 717 was a fun trip to take. Good frame rate to catch up. Yeah, 717 was a fun trip to take, and, well, the edit for that video, I absolutely adore. So now coming out the foothills of the Alps, coming over Italy, and onto the flat land below. Clear skies, not a cloud in the sky. Should be a very calm flight now for the rest of the trip. Hopefully a chance for the ice start thawing. Current altitude is 37,000 feet. Flight level 370. It's not even so many places overseas, and I can show you where I've been. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get the list up. I mean, they're on my Discord server. If you go to the off-topic chat, I've sent a few screenshots there. But let's go through them all, shall we? Copy link and paste. Copy. Whoops. So, on screen now. Are my flying stats since 2014. So, this is all the trips I've done since 2014. I've got quite a few of them in around Europe. I've never left the continent. I should have gone to America in May, but America was cancelled. I should have gone to Dusseldorf and Mallorca, also early this year. I should have also done Malaga in September as well, but that was also cancelled. So I should have got America, I should have got Malaga, Mallorca and Dusseldorf, but all of those have now been cancelled. So, this is my trips since 2014. Quite a fair few out towards Central Europe. I've done all of the Scandinavian countries, most of the Nordics. I've just got Iceland to do at some points. I've got a couple of trips down to Poland. Greece was a fantastic trip. I've done Italy so many times now. And yeah, quite a fair few trips. I've done all of the major London airports as well. I've had to tick off Southend and Oxford at some points in the pack. These are all vacations. So I travel for vacation. I've never travelled for work. Flight tickets are cheap. With Ryanair, you can get a return trip for like £20. And so I'll look for a good offer and I'll book like a day trip or a return weekend trip or whatever. So here are my statistics. 2014, flew 4 times, 15 twice, 16 twice, 17 twice. 18, flew 6 times. 2019, I flew 18 times. 2020, I've flown 11 times, but these are all before March. Since March, I've flown 0. January, February, March, 11 flights, which was a very, very busy month for busy 3 months of travel. Top aircraft, I've flown the 737-800 32 times. I've flown the A320 4 times and the A319 3 times. Whereas in Poland, I've done Lublin, Świdnik and Rzeszów Jasionka. My mother's Polish, and so I've got family over there. Most visited airports, I've got Stansted 29 times, Rzeszów 11 and Luton 5. Top countries, UK 42 times, Italy 12, Poland 12. Airlines, I've flown British Airways twice, Alitalia twice, Ryanair 31 times. I'm not wealthy. Ryanair tickets are £20 return. They're cheap. Fly cheap, fly Ryanair. EasyJet 4 times, Olympic Air twice, JetTime once, Laudamotion once, Norwegian Air once, and Volair once. And in terms of aircraft, I've flown, well, the ATR 42, I've flown twice, the A319 3, the A320 4 times, the A320neo once, the 717 once, very good flight that, very much enjoyed it. 738 32 times, most of those are Ryanair. 737 once, that was with JetTime, and then the Embraer 190 one time. So, I like to travel. I try and travel as much as possible. I mean, where is it? Here you go. How do I travel so often? If I go to Ryanair.com, I mean, I can fly to Austin for $7.99, Aalborg $9.99, Aarhus $9.99, Alicante $9.99, Barcelona $9. Just look how cheap this is. So many flights I can do one way for a tenner. This is why I travel so much, because Ryanair allow for it. cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. Although, unfortunately because of COVID, I've decided to kind of cancel all my trips and I'm going to give it a few months before I travel again. But yes, Ryanair, for the lowest fares and the best on-time record. Not a good carbon footprint. Admittedly, my carbon footprint is terrible, but, well, first of all, a boat is much worse than a train. Sorry, plane. Most boats are way more polluting than aeroplanes. And so, boats I never travel with because those are just so bad. And because it's directly in the water as well, it's polluting directly into the water. I also do offset my carbon, so I do pay a fair bit a year to offset my carbon footprints. And so, I try and balance it out where possible, but like I say, when Ryanair offer a return trip for 20 quid, I'm not going to say no. You say that, Spirit Airlines have recently offered some rather cheap tickets, so you can do a couple of flights now out to like New York with Spirit for $15, $20. Do I have Tesla? No, I don't drive. I don't drive, I take the Ryanair flights. Right, currently over Italy, and potentially... yeah, not terribly far from Rome now. Next country after COVID. Oh yes, also I had to cancel Dublin as well. That was another trip I had planned, but I had to cancel. So yeah, this year I've cancelled New York, which was the saddest one for me, because the New York trip also was on the Boeing 747. So, yeah, my 747 trip was a really sad one, because, well, first they cancelled the flights, and now they've cancelled the aeroplane, so... British Airways 747, that's now a miss. But New York was cancelled, Mallorca was cancelled, Malaga was cancelled, Dusseldorf cancelled, Dublin cancelled. I've had 5 trips cancelled this year, but for the sake of safety, it's for the best. I won't go again probably until either late this year or next year. Probably next year, just for the sake of safety. I like travelling, but health and safety always number one. Tomorrow, I'll do a tutorial on how to paint your aeroplanes. What's the PC name? It's custom built, so I can't give you a PC name there, I'm afraid, Roblox Gamer. Always build, never buy. It's much cheaper. The flight is 1 hour and 50 minutes. We're about 40 minutes into it, so just over halfway. I've disabled the VFR map. For those who watch my 787 from London to Dubai, you'll know why I've turned it off. Yeah, feel free to name the PC. Do I want to be a pilot in real life? So I do plan to do an NPPR Type M, a microlight pilot's license, but not commercial. I don't have £80,000 to go flying as a pilot, but I do have £80 to go flying as a passenger, like 50 times a year. So it is what it is. Next long haul flight, not too sure yet. I think this weekend I'll do a few... We'll see what Sunday brings. How can you see top percent in 787? The 737. What are you flying, Robbie? Glad you're enjoying it, Dark Lord. Much appreciated. Yeah, London to Hannenberg will be a very long flight, but that will be at some point long in the future. Yeah, all you pay is £13,000. The problem is, where am I going to get £13,000? The problem is also with the Wizz Air scheme, it's very, very limited. A lot of people apply for it, and so your chances of getting in are very limited, to say the least. So, Yeah. I don't know. Some dreams not meant to happen. So in around 30 minutes or so, we'll start descending our Pop Square 320. The airport is only around 160 nautical miles away from us. We'll program our approach in now, since it's probably about the right time to do that. And we need the runway 25 via the Rite 2 Kilo departure arrival. 2 Kilo, 3 Alpha, 2 Kilo. No wires. Insert that. And so now our approach plan should be in. We're about 80 miles from the airport. We'll start our descent. I had a note at runway 25, so I've used SimBrief for my flight planning, and SimBrief tells me it's runway 25 in use right now. The skins are a mods tutorial. Tomorrow I'll do a tutorial on how the liveries are added. Do I speak more languages? I mean, I speak English natively. Moje mamy jestem polsku, and mówię po polsku. I speak a tiny bit of French. So I can say hello to you, how are you? Bonjour, ça va? Ça va bien, merci. I can ask you when your birthday is. Quelle est la date aujourd'hui, bon anniversaire? So, French, if I spent like a day or two just focusing on French again, I could probably speak it at a basic level. Finnish, I can speak very, very, very basic Finnish. Hai mitä kuuluu? Puhun suomea. But, yeah, Finnish especially, and French also. If I spent more time just practicing it again, I'd get better, but, English and Polish are definitely my stronger languages. How much do I make from YouTube? Not much. Not much. I mean, you guys have been donating like crazy the last couple of days, and so this month will be, I guess, a good month for me. And so, with it, I'll start, I'll upgrade my PC, I'll buy new parts, and I'll start, building something up from there. Why Finnish if you live in the UK? Because I've got some friends out in Finland. And last year I spent a month there as well. So I spent a month in Lappeenranta, and so with it I've just kind of picked up some of the language. I'm Polish. Moje mamy jestem polsku, and so with her being Polish, I've just learned the language as well. The A380 is an AI aircraft, not a flyable one, so the AI's A380, I can't fly it myself. Equipment, I use the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. Where are you go in the pilot? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Hassan. How old am I? I'm 21. I'm 21. No, you could not enter flying school from a YouTube income. I'm not quite sure who you're using your source for YouTube money, but PewDiePie and KSI, for example, they'll earn millions, but only because they're on billions of views. If you're starting a channel from scratch, it's going to be a long road there to actually getting your monetization on before eventually starting things up. Trip's 1 hour and 50 minutes, so we're only about 20 minutes away from top of descents. Bakerloo line, I do enjoy. Do I speak Spanish? No, not a word of Spanish. But yeah, the Bakerloo line, I do rather enjoy it. I'll land it myself. I use the ILS to guide us in, but it will be a manual touchdown. The weather is crystal clear at the moment, and so it's perfect weather for us to bring the aircraft in. A few clouds behind us, but in front of us, it's all nice and clear. The PMDG entry I am very excited for. It's going to change the way we fly in the simulator, especially when it comes to the level of quality, the level of fidelity it has. So, PMDG, I am very much now waiting to release. While we're at it, let me quickly check my ILS frequencies. Make sure that's all in place. So radio navigations, it's runway 25 at 10.5. Of course, it's 250, so that's all correct. And we should land without any problems. Landing in approximately 30 minutes. We're using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. The PMDG 777 will eventually come, but that'll come later. The 737 is the only one that has been fully confirmed, but they have said that they will make all their aircraft eventually for the new platform. Pricing will be $139.99. $139.99. If you own the PMDG NGXU for P3 version 4, then you only pay $40 on release, but the PMDG 737 will cost $139.99 on release. Expensive, but it will be a very high quality aeroplane. Yes, if you bought it in 2019, you get the discounts. Well, it's not really a discount, it's a money off offer, but eventually in total $139.99. You guys asking me how I'm going to use the ILS. I mean, I'm going to be doing it in about 20 minutes, so watch. Also, this weekend I will do a tutorial on how to do it, so keep an eye out, tutorials coming. Fuel on boards, we have 3.3 tons of kilos. I mean, good luck buying the plane in real life. But we do offer good discounts in the 737, but a brand new 737 with no discounts will set you back 40... No. If you're buying a MAX, it'll be $120 million. The 737NG went for about $83 million. Although if you buy in bulk, you get good discounts. How far are we from landing? We'll be landing in approximately 100 miles. 100 miles to go. It's very interesting about you that, but we should be at 3,000 by the time we intercept the runway. So, in about... so 80 miles, is it? Okay, we'll start descending now. So, down to 3,000 at 2,000 feet per minute descent rates. I sound like an AI voiceover. Thank you very much, Khaled. Motherboard. Make sure your motherboard is compatible with what you're trying to use. Side stick priority. No, currently in op. The panel equally... so you're talking about the flight management computer, the MCDU. That's where you plug in your flight plan. The MCDU. I said 2,000 there, sorry. Thank you very much. That's good eye, literally. 3,000. Carrying at 1080p on high and ultra settings. Descends, so rule of thumb for descending. When you're 80 miles from the airport... Sorry. Okay. At 2,000 feet per minute, at 250 knots, you'll descend 30,000 feet in 80 miles. So we're 80 miles from the airport now, and descending down to 3,000. So at 250 knots, at 2,000 feet per minute, we'll descend in 80 nautical miles, 30,000 feet. All will be explained in the tutorial tomorrow, so do keep an eye out for that. FPS right now, we're currently running to solid 30, as you see top right screen there. We could have got to about 50 if we wanted to, but I've limited OBS. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Hang on, give me a second. I've realised my mistake there. How am I going to do this? There we go. Right, so as you can see, solid 30 right now, limited. If I turned off the limiter, I'd be running at about, what I'd be running? 45-50 FPS. The only reason I've limited it is because OBS starts to panic when it's any more than that, so to stop OBS from panicking, I've limited it to 30. Oh yeah, brightness does work. Where is it? ND brightness, so I can turn that up and down. You can control the brightness of all the screens, so that they have simulated. Replay function is on the way. They are currently working at the moment, but replay is on the way. When we're going to descend, we've already started descending. We have already started. Why your nav not in heading? Because navigation mode works fine. LNav works fine, VNav does not. Favourite plane in the sim? Probably the 747. I like 747. Yes, 280 knots on managed descents, but should be alright for now. The A380 is bigger than the 747. The 747-8 is longer by a few meters, but the 787 fits about a third more capacity. Welcome there, Andrew. How are you doing? I've done takeoff tutorials for the airplanes, and so during the weekend I'll be doing some landing tutorials. Landing tutorials are on the way. Just be patient, guys. They take a bit of time to record, especially if I'm doing 3 at the same time. The 748 is longer, but the A380 is wider. Glad you're enjoying the videos, Marjo. Joystick, I'm using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. We'll be landing in approximately 25 minutes. Liveries, I'll do tutorial on liveries tomorrow. Tutorials are on the way. Autopilot tutorial. I mean, the autopilot tutorial came with the takeoff tutorial, and there'll also be takeoff. Autopilot will have a feature in the landing tutorial, so it'll all be included. Don't you worry. I do plan to be as in depth as possible with the upcoming videos. Let's increase our descent rate slightly. Yeah, just taking a quick breather because, well, talking for 2 hours non-stop answering questions does take it out on you slightly. But don't you worry, I am here. Liveries were added, they are mods. They are third-party freeware mods, and so tomorrow I'll do a tutorial on how to download the freeware download mods. Liveries, you know what I'm talking about. How do you know where to go when you have the waypoints turned off? What do you mean by that, Luke? Waypoints turned off? I mean, I use SimBrief for my flight planning, and so, yeah. Boeing. I'm more of a Boeing person myself. Nope, I have never played Fortnite. Never downloaded it, never looked at it. No interest. How do you apply Microsoft Flight Simulator? So, a lot of the knowledge that I've got come from previous simulators I've used. So, explain Flight Simulator X P3D. And so I use those skills on my Microsoft Flight Simulator. Do I play Star Citizen? No, but perhaps when it releases, I'll have a look. Yes, multiplayer does lag because you're spawning in a bunch of different aeroplanes. Favourite military aeroplane? Probably the F-16. Or the C-17 Globemaster. I like a bit of C-17. Upgrading your RAM would probably improve performance, yes, but not as much as you think you'd want to. What microphone do I use? I use a Florum BM800. It's cheapened from China, but it sounds really good. Yes, I'm from the UK. Thank you, Pale Rider, for the $4.99. Much appreciated. A flight from Casablanca to Madeira. That's an interesting suggestion there. I'll add it to my list, and I'll definitely add it to consideration, but yeah, that's quite a nice route, that. Perhaps we will. The ice should start melting soon. So, we're a little bit high at the moment, so perhaps we are. We'll slow the airplane down further. Increase our descent rates to 3,000. I might take it on manual vector if we need to, but I've got a feeling we're a little bit too high at this stage. Yes, I am a football fan. I support Chelsea. Slough to winners. Good old Slough. Slough. Ruddy Slough. Good old Slough. Yeah, Slough, Grimsby, Stevenage, all your favourite places in the UK. Fly from Norwich to Crete. I do like the 738. The 737 is my favourite aircraft, yes. Oh, speed not reducing. Let's use spoilers, shall we? Should become real pilots. Too expensive. If anybody has £80,000 to gift me, then please do. Alright, so at this point, does it even work in this? Probably not. Let's have a look. Nope, okay. If we go direct to our previous waypoint, which was Ligbu. What I'm going to do is create like a really horrible, basic holding point here. We'll send a little bit more, and eventually we'll continue back on the approach, because we need to be down at we need to pass by 10,000 at Charlie Mike Papa. We're a little high for that at the moment, so I'll tell you what, perhaps we're not. Perhaps we're not. We need to go to Charlie Mike Papa. presumably it will be that one. So that's... If not, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll do heading. Right, landing lights on, so it's below 10,000. Icing has melted, so our aircraft's looking rather good. Multiplayer is turned off at the moment. Although at some point I'm going to figure out as to why my IVAO was being so laggy earlier. If I can fix it for tomorrow, I'm sure that'll be much appreciated for running multiplayer flights. So decrease our descent rates again to 1,500. In a couple of moments, we'll start preparing stuff like flaps. So we'll set a heading for an intercept to the glide slope. 185 does fine. Now the frame rate to pick up again as we start loading in Rome. Not long to go now. Not long till landing. Right now we're flying on the outskirts of Rome. Flying on the outskirts of Rome. Rome Fumancino is our arrival. Thank you for the $6, Tiny Snipe. Do you know why 748's fuel seems to be going above and below its assigned... Why it's going fueled above its below and assigned altitude? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I mean, the fuel burns a bit too high in the 747, so it burns too much fuel than it should do. But I'm not quite sure why it's got a relation to its assigned altitude there. Yeah, so we're going to intercept the localizer. And soon after, we shall fly down the glide slope. What airport have I flown from in the UK? I've flown from London Heathrow, London City, London Stansted, London Luton, London Gatwick. And Inverness. How long do we land? 5 minutes. 5 minutes to landing. Alright, start sending the airplane down now. Down to 200. And let's start doing the flaps. That's one. We can do a flap 3 landing, sure. We'll program it for a flap 3 landing. Should actually probably set up our approach anyway. QNH is 1009. Temperature is 26. Actually, the wind. I should use the METAR for this, but it's a little bit late, so 329.05. Should use METAR, but we're being cheeky today. We'll avoid it. Sorry, 3,000. Right. Let's approach the phase. And let's bring the aircraft in. Down to 180. Interesting. We should be at 3,000 right now, so let's stop the descent rates. Flaps 2. What we see from the sights, probably, because we are a little bit low right now, so we'll level off here at 2,500s, and we'll wait until we intercept the glide slope. We should be at 3,000 right now, but we'll hold at 2.5. In just a moment, we'll turn the localizer. Landing in less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes to go. No, IVAO seems to be quite laggy for me, and so we shan't be using it for our flight today. Localizer active. That's 3. If any of you guys know where this is in Rome right now, then do give a shout. Thank you for the $2, Antoine. Where do I get my liveries from? Sorry, my flight plan. I get it from SimBrief. I use SimBrief for my flight planning. Right, let's us arm the spoilers. Set the brakes to... let's use light braking here. That's down 3, and gear will drop at 10 miles to landing. No, just the one flight this evening. Tomorrow, we'll be doing 2. Just today, 1 flight. Tonight, I'll then record some tutorials for you. And then back to normal come tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow I expect quite a fair few videos. 2 flights and 4 tutorial videos tomorrow. 1 on liveries, 1 in the 78, 1 74, 1 in the A320. Now, for some reason, I'm sure it's an IS runway here, but well, if I switch over to approach mode, do we descend down the glide slope? If not, we'll bring it in manually now, but... and thrice. Oh no, we gotta descend down the glide slope, so for some reason, the Magenta Diamonds just decided not to appear today. Rome Fumancino. Not Ciampino, Fumancino. Get down. Birthday tomorrow, happy birthday Zav. Did you find your home sim? Yes I have, and it looks fairly accurate. No, not an IVAO. IVAO was causing a little bit of lag for me, so I decided to turn it off. I'll try and fix it for tomorrow, we'll see. Flight director is on, but for some reason the ILS display decided to not show up. Fast to 1000. Autopilot off. Let's guide it in the rest of the way. We are using ILS, but we are now flying on manual. 1000. Nope, I don't get bored flying. I quite enjoy it, if anything. So, flaps down, 2, 3. Gear down, 3 greens. Spoilers armed. Brakes sets to low. Landing lights active, landing clearance we've got, pre-landing checklist complete. Where am I from? I'm from London. Right, so at this point, sterile cockpit, I will not be watching chats. I'm now focusing on landing the aeroplane. bit low, but we can adjust. We're committed.
60, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard 5.
Yeah, a bit heavy there, but hey, thrust sets. $80 knots. Thrust cuts. Could have been better, that landing. Could have been better. Wasn't quite a butt up, but I have done worse. Yeah, it was a good landing. Not a great landing, just a good landing. We get them from time to time. Right, welcome to Rome Fumancino. And lights off, taxi lights. Why can't I get there? Taxi lights set. We'll turn off the anti-icing. We'll turn on the APU. Still better than Ryanair. Thanks for that plane guy, much appreciated. Best in your lanes today. You broke your legs, ouch. Must have been a very bad one. Thank you for the £10. Treader care again. Seriously, stop throwing so much at me. Again, thank you very much. And as I say, all donations will go towards our new PC fund. We'll see how that goes in the... as soon as the NVIDIA stuff gets announced, then we'll make a decision on which direction we take. Do I go 20 series, or do I go 30 series if it's not too expensive? I like to go 30s, but, well, pricing always is key. Right, next in front of us, we'll take one of these gates over here, and then we shall bring our flights to an end. Tonight, I'll then use a couple of hours to record a couple of tutorials, and hopefully tomorrow things will be looking a little bit cooler. You're in Fumancino on Monday. Fair play. I'm sure this is the wrong gate, but hey, I'm taking it. Parking brake sets. No, I'd say 20 series is not rubbish. I said 20 series is expensive. If the 30 series is expensive, I'll go 20 series. Pricing comes down to that one. Right, engines off. Make sure the leads are set. Beacons off. Taxi lights off. Star power available. AP come off. Ladies and gentlemen. Is it too late to raise the flaps? Nope, flaps going up as well. Forgot to do that when we cleared the runway. Whoops. So, that was a flight from Frankfurt to Fumancino. We shall call the jet bridge. We shall prepare the aircraft turnaround. And in this case, in a moment, we'll bring the stream to an end. No replays today, unfortunately. Replays should come soon. Thank you very much for the £40. Gosh, NL Gaming, thank you very, very much for that. And also Manualist for the €5 as well. Can you fly to Catania at some point? Yes, Catania we will fly to at some point soon, as the airport there is very nice. But again, thank you for that 40, man. That was phenomenal. Thank you very much. You guys are amazing. You really are. So, yes. Like I say, tomorrow the plan is... Tonight, I'll record a tutorial. So I'll do tutorial for deliveries. I'll do tutorial for the 787, A320 and 747 landings. So those will come tomorrow. You're all amazing. No words can describe. Just... thank you. Thank you. Yeah, £100 that landing. No. Yeah, we've earned a 3090 just in this one stream alone. Thank you. What do I say now? Tutorial's coming soon. We'll do that soon. Just keep an eye out for it. You guys take care. You're all amazing. Thank you very much. Back tomorrow. We'll do a couple of live streams. Thank you, NL, for being a sponsor as well. Just seriously, guys, you are blowing me away at the moment. Thank you. Right, so... well, if I plan to sleep tonight, I'd better get started with these tutorials. So I'll start recording them now. I'll upload them, schedule them for tomorrow. And after that, we'll see what happens there. Tomorrow morning, I plan to fly the A320 again, so I'll figure out the route and sort it out soon. Otherwise, I'm not crying yet, but I am very much on the verge of it. You guys take care. We'll do a landing tutorial for tomorrow. We'll do a couple of flights, and we'll... thank you again for the sponsor, Antoine. You guys take care. Have a good one. Have a good night. And I'll see you again tomorrow. You're amazing. You're all amazing. I love you all. Take care. Have a good night. I'm going to end the stream now because the longer this goes on, I'm basically going to start bankrupting all of you at this point, and I don't want that. Good night. You have fun. Take care. Back tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you.